Table would be useful.
Floor. Not you, the coffee.
I know, but I have to get down as well, otherwise I can't do it. There we go. Straw. Don't you criticise my straw. Microphone. Right.
Are we ready?
Oh my God. All my aching bones.
Right. Should we do this then?
Yeah.
So 16th of May.
Oh, bloody hell. Thank you for finding me a sofa this week.
Welcome back after the break.
Sofa's nice and comfy. I'll turn towards you so it looks like I like you.
It's actually more comfortable than the one I got at home, actually, funnily enough. I wonder whether I can get it in my bag.
Or in your Range Rover.
In my Range Rover. Get it out there.
This is very true.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask
There's
you.
a big space over here. Are we expecting a guest?
Well, it was for you. I didn't expect you to get that close. I mean, honestly, I can't back away any further. Honestly,
he doesn't deserve me, does he?
Well, I'll turn that round a little.
All right, darling.
There we go.
That's better.
There we go. There we go. I meant to ask you.
Yeah.
When you arrived, how did weigh-in go on Tuesday?
Oh, I'm still in Target. In Target. All good. All good. Yeah. So from last April, I lost 2.5 stone, and that was more difficult this time. Because I've been at Target before at Slimming World, and then I put all the weight back on again, as so many people do, Mark, don't they?
Oh, well,
and it was quite difficult. But I learned the trick of it this time. Say no. Say no to the stuff that you put in your mouth. There's more to it than that.
That's logic. We can all lose weight logically, can't we? It's just not easy up here, isn't it? And we've been talking about this in our.
You'll notice I don't have a cake in my hand or a toasty.
No,
sadly.
No, but we have resisted the almond croissants over there.
I'm not that keen on almond croissants.
Anyway, we're back in Costa.
Hello.
We're back in Costa.
I keep bringing him here because we're trying for a sponsorship deal. So if anyone from Costa's watching, can you tag Costa in this?
Well, Whitbread's are based in Dunstable, so I'll tag them.
Whitbread doesn't own Costa anymore.
Oh, don't they?
No, I think McDonald's does now.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because suddenly they got Wrigley's gum and Coca-Cola. It may even be Coca-Cola that owns it now.
Yes, I think you're right.
Whitbread gave up a long time ago.
Oh, then we're going to have to find a little independent, aren't we?
No.
So much has happened since last week. It's been my birthday.
Yes, I know.
A couple of days ago, it was my birthday.
But you wouldn't think... I mean, you're doing well for 62 now.
Oh, 62 around the neck. But thank you very much for all the messages and whatnot, and the comments on the previous episode.
He was only moaning that he didn't get enough messages.
I'm being happy.
Yeah,
stop. I'm being happy.
Don't do that.
I haven't actually got much to moan about.
Oh, I have. I brought my whole list.
How many pages have we got? We got. Oh,
yeah. That's the rest of the series.
That'll keep us going till December.
Do you remember a few weeks ago that we said we were going to talk about stamps and we didn't in the end? There's been this whole scandal about China bringing fake stamps in and them charging people, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. It's just the fact that it's like 75p for a second-class stamp or something ridiculous.
So, the problem with the Post is that it's now publicly owned. It's now no longer state-owned, and so therefore shareholders always come first, don't they? So the service takes a nosedive. Anyone that works for the Post at Royal Mail will tell you.
Because you used to be a postie, didn't you, years and years ago?
Well, I'd like to think I was a little bit more executive than a post, but yes, yeah.
You were a fucking postman, don't you? Like
that. And in that decade, I'm not even going to say the decade. In that decade, they were making something like 500.
It was the 70s.
It was not the 70s. They were making something like about £500 million a year. There was no email. There was just Parcel Force, the post office, and a few local courier companies. But they've just lost
interest.
Interest, yes, and.
Don't even get me started about the delivery company that threw my parcel over my back gate and it landed in a puddle the other day.
We've all got examples of that. But the where they made their money was on the volume of letters that were being sent.
And they just don't have that.
And they don't have that volume because they were no bloody good at it. So as a result, people were going, well, we don't need to send bank statements anymore. We can send PDFs. We can email that document. We don't need to wait 3 weeks for it to be delivered and re-delivered back to us. So all that revenue has been lost.
I've got a really lovely postman who I see once a week because he only delivers once a week. I mean, I don't get many letters, but I do get an awful lot of junk mail, and he's the one that shoves the junk mail through the door. So obviously, Royal Mail has done a deal with all the junk mail.
They've always had a deal with junk mail people.
But there's so much of it now.
Yeah, because that's the only revenue they've got. People aren't sending letters. How many? You know, it's just how many. When you count up the letters you got, the issue is that as it gets worse and worse, they're dumbing it down. So I make a prediction. In 5 to 10 years, there will be no deliveries whatsoever.
Agreed.
And what will happen is, in the interim, we'll go like America, where you have a box at the end of your pathway, so you don't even have to walk up your pathway. Then after that, it will be a subscription service. You pay for whether or not you want your post delivered to the door, and those that don't will have to go to the sorting office and pick it up. Or there'll be those boxes like they have abroad, where those units and we've got enough empty shop units where they just become boxes for you to have your own PO box.
Talking of paying to pick it up, we both pay through the nose for our green bin collection. You know, the garden waste collection. And you just did yours, didn't you, quite recently?
£55 for the year.
I think ours is 36 at Cherwell County Council. But even so, it's then only every 2 weeks.
And it's only for maximum 5, 6 months of the year anyway.
And don't put too much in there, and don't put any soil in there, otherwise it's too heavy, and they just leave it go, no, it's too heavy, sorry.
Yeah. Whereas bin men, when we were kids, lifted it on their
big,
backs.
they were big burly buggers.
They lifted it on their backs. There was none of this.
Apart from Curly Watts in Coronation Street.
But Curly Watts couldn't lift his own glasses half the time. Curly Watts. I don't know who the hell Curly Watts is. I'm too young to remember.
Of course you are.
Curly Watts.
Of course you are. Yeah,
God
absolutely.
bless him. I think he's still alive and well somewhere.
Did he end up with Raquel in the end?
We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking up at the stars.
I love that. In the days where Corrie was good.
Will you teach me to speak French, Ken?
Oh, go on, yeah, absolutely.
Voulez-vous coucher
avec moi ce soir? Absolutely, very much so. Oh, I've got another bit of gay content for you.
Okay.
So now I'm divorced.
It's official. It's official.
I'm not going to shake your hand. It's not. It's nothing to be proud of.
No. But it's a new era. Yeah. So there we go.
All right, whatever. So I was trying to arrange a date with someone. Okay, I was trying to arrange a date.
Got over that quick, didn't he?
Shut the fuck up, you
Crikey.
horrid little man.
Crikey, the ink was barely dry on that certificate. Anyway, a date, yeah.
You cheeky fuck. Anyway, and so this guy's going, and it all seems to be going quite well. And he's like, okay, well, I might be free later. And I went, well, what kind of, this was about 6 o'clock in the evening. And I went, okay, what kind of later? And he went, oh, just a bit later, I'll send you a message. I went, all right. And then it got 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. I'm going to bed at 9:30. And he messages at 9:45, going, oh, is it too late to come around now? Yes, it fucking is too late to come around now.
Crikey, Tom Bradley will be on at 10.
and I'll be in the land of Nod by then. Thank you very much.
No. Was this like a day, or was this a date?
Well, I don't think I quite go that far.
It was I mean 9:45. No, Tom Bradley's on at 10 with his lovely neck.
It was a come around to my house and let's see what happens.
Let's see. Yeah,
stop it. You don't need to be any more. People don't need to know that.
No, they don't need to know that. So we've gone from.
So that's
the Queen's head on a stamp. But there's a gag there. I'm going nowhere near it. Queens and head.
I think you almost did. But there's this thing. I mean, I don't know why people go. Is 9:45 a good time to meet? No, it isn't.
Not in the morning or in the evening, quite frankly.
No, exactly. From lunchtime to 7 p.m. That's a good time to meet.
Excluding countdown and the chase
for you.
And the chase,
absolutely for you.
Got to be free for Bradley. Cup of tea and a couple of biscuits for Bradley for the chase.
Bradley for the chase. I do love the chase. But now ITVX has got a whole channel of the chase. You can watch it anytime, 24 hours a day. Do we like
that coin drop one? What's that?
No, Tipping Point.
Tipping Point.
Quite like Ben Shepherd.
No.
I like the final bit of Tipping Point. I don't like the entire show, but the end bit.
No.
What's your favourite game show of all time?
Here they are. They're so appealing. Okay, dollies, do your dealing.
I think we're both massive Price is Right fans. Absolutely.
Could still be a big night if you play your cards right.
Don't get anything for a pair.
Not in this game.
Except you do, of course.
Oh,
That's
Play your
the
cards
thing.
right. Play
Absolutely.
your cards right in the Gen game with Bruce.
I've got one more thing on my list that I really need to get off my chest.
Yeah.
Not specifically off my chest. It's about hair. Now, the back of my, for anyone that knows me personally, the back of my head is quite shiny these days, isn't it? It's quite shiny. Whereas he's got a full head of hair. I don't know how you've done it. You've good genetics.
Turkey hair.
Turkey hair. Fair enough.
I went off
What
3 weeks in Turkey.
What I don't understand is, it falls off the back of your head, then it grows down your back, and out of your ears, out of your nose. It goes everywhere.
Nose, ears, absolutely.
What the hell is
Eyebrows,
that?
eyebrows.
And this is the awful thing about getting older.
It's
that
just-
and creaking up the stairs first thing. I need to take more collagen, is what I need to do. I need to get
I'm sure
back
there's a
onto
shopping channel that sells that.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure they're overinflated prices for that. It's just getting body hair. Yeah, it's one of those. Well, it's like the royal family, isn't it? All the men, they get to a certain point and they're very handsome, and then suddenly their ears keep growing and their noses keep growing, and they lose their hair, and they turn from. Look, Prince William, perfect example. Turn from heartthrob to something not like a heartthrob.
Harry seems to have a full head of hair still.
Well, yeah, but is that because his surname's Hewitt? Harry Hewitt.
I think they come and kill you if you say stuff like that on the internet.
Take me to the tower. Take me to.
I think it's less. I think it's less public than that.
I think. I think Harry's dad would be very proud of him.
You are awful.
Yeah.
On my other podcast, how do you
His
say
real
that?
dad.
Sam, my other podcast partner that isn't this one,
Is that the one where you have to be corporate?
was talking about how she saw Lady Diana at the cinema one time. We're at a cinema now. Was it? Oh look! I've only just noticed. It makes it look like you've got a giant halo.
Like my new hat.
Hardly. But she saw Diana going to the cinema to see a few good
Princess
men.
or lady?
Princess at the time. So after the marriage had broken up, with Hewitt, going to see a few good men in the cinema.
Oh, she saw a few good men. She saw a few good men. Bless her little heart.
Is there anything else you want to get off your chest?
Well, I saw Diana once in WH Smith's in Kensington.
Okay.
And she was in there the same time as I was in it. Suddenly it went very quiet in there. It was a Sunday afternoon. And then stood queuing to pay for my magazine and hadn't realised the woman in front of me in a baseball cap was Princess Diana.
Wow.
And she left, the door closed, and everyone went, oh. I went, what? That was Diana buying her magazine. So I'm like, and I missed it. My mum will never forgive me for not getting a selfie.
I mean, but that isn't that. I mean, my Diana story in a way beats that because I was the first newsreader in Britain to announce the death of Diana.
That was a bleak night.
Awful morning, Sunday morning.
Where
They'd call me. I
I
was working for ITN. I was working for LBC at ITN, in the basement of ITN, and the news editor called it at 2 minutes to 5 in the morning, where nobody else called it until 5, and we were 2 minutes earlier than everyone else.
Wow.
There's a little bit of toing and froing from the people that were working on LBC FM because they think they called it first, but I know they didn't. It's just one of those tiny internal arguments. But we certainly, as a radio station brand,
that's like that question,
first.
isn't it? Who was the first radio station first commercial radio station in London? And I'm going to let him tell that story.
And everyone says Capital, and we were doing this pub quiz in Gran Canaria, and the woman swore it was Capital, and yet me and our friend Mark, who used to work for LBC at the time in the 70s, went, oh no, it was LBC. It was definitely LBC because it was a week earlier than Capital began. As the first,
they wouldn't award the point.
They would not take the point. The one went, oh no, it doesn't say that on my sheet. Even though we showed her on Google.
Had she questioned it, the first commercial music radio
station, that would have been different.
She would have been right, but she said commercial radio station, and we all went LBC.
Talking of which, just as a final addendum, you know how we're going to Gran Canaria later in the year? Should we do some episodes with other grumpy old gays that we know? Because we know a bunch of fucking grumpy. If you think we're grumpy.
Oh my God! You wait till you meet Harry.
Oh my God! Yeah, that would be good. Or
Simon. Crikey, they take grumpy to a whole new level.
We will promise you that for later in the year.
I've never seen them smile. Well, I saw them smile once. It was a fart, but I've never seen them smile once.
On that horrible
They go all the way to Gran Canaria and sit on the patio all 2 weeks.
Don't moan at them. They're good friends.
No, I know.
Right, we'll see you next week.
See ya. Bye.
Nice.
Oh.